Hello, welcome to another enlightening, wonderful video on this channel. Thank you for being part of this awesome video. Now, today we'll be looking at the needs of a child. The needs of a child. What are the things that a child needs? Now, it is talking about the fundamental needs of a child, the basic things. We are really trying to understand that children have needs the same way adults have needs, and the parents and the guardians and also the adults around them have been given the responsibility of meeting these needs. Everything that a parent does is actually should be directed to meeting these needs in the life of a child. Any parent that is not meeting the need of a child is actually not helping the child. So that's why we have already said that parenting is a skill that needs to be learnt. You don't just do it carelessly and hope to get the best out of it. No, there is a way you do it. Now, the needs of a child, we've categorized them into three broad categories. Number one is a spiritual need of a child. Every child needs to be taken care of spiritually. Now, what are we talking about with the spiritual needs? We are talking about the need that for a child to have a personal knowledge of God, a personal relationship with God, to come to know God for himself. A child is an individual, is a person by himself. So he or she needs to also be taught, be trained to know God. He has a need that is desiring to know God, and that is one of the responsibilities of a correct parent, to help the child to meet that need of knowing God for himself. Knowing Jesus, becoming someone who is a child of God, it is not something that should be left when someone has become an adult. Children have that need also. Is an eternal need that every human being comes into this world with. And every parent must recognize that it is our responsibility to help our kids, to help our children to begin to understand, know, and to develop a relationship with God. This requires attention, it requires carefulness, it requires diligence. There are a lot of things that you need to put in place as a parent so that your child can meet his or her spiritual need. You don't allow children to just vacillate around and expect that one day. No, you set the atmosphere, you set the environment, you set the course of their training so that eventually they will be able to locate this God because inside them there is that need already inherently there. So you make the living conditions suitable so that it will be easy for your children to find God. Now, you don't force them. No, you can't force them to believe or to know him, but you can create an environment that makes it easy for this particular need to be met. It is your responsibility as a parent to do that. Now, the second basic need that we've categorized is the emotional need of a child. There are emotional needs that a child has inherently. Why? Because a child has the emotions that he or she is born with. This talks about the psychological needs of a child. There are things that the child needs, things like love, things like warmth, attention, approval, acceptance, things that will help to build his or her self-worth, self-esteem, self-image. These are the things that we categorize under emotional needs. Every child needs to feel love from their parents. Without love, you are not going to be able to help your child much. And these are things that a parent must pay attention to providing. All right, a child has the need to be loved, to be accepted for who they are. Don't compare your children with others. You are destroying their self-image. Don't let your children become the object of your ridicule. Don't insult your children. You are doing an emotional harm to them if you do that. So take care of the emotional needs of your children. Love them unconditionally. And they must understand these things. You have to learn to communicate these emotional needs to them so that they will begin to accept it. The next basic need is, we call this physical need of a child. The physical need of a child. Under this category, this is where all the physical things that a child needs come into place. The need for education, the need for food, the need for shelter, the need for clothing, the need for friends around them, other social needs. All of them come into physical needs. So, because you see, if you understand that these are the things that a child needs, it will help you to know and to plan your parenting so that you'll be meeting the need of a child at the same time fulfilling your role as a parent. Actually, as a parent, if you are not meeting these needs, you're actually not doing the work of a parent. You're actually not training these children in the way they should go. We've done a video on how to train a child, So please, these three needs, the spiritual needs, the emotional needs, and the physical needs, they must become the priority of every parent so far as their children are concerned. You have to be deliberate. Every single thing you are doing with your children, with your child, should be directed to meeting one or two of these needs at all times. That's the way you will see them grow into fulfilled adults. Thank you so much as you engage in meeting these needs. We hope to hear from you. Please do subscribe to the channel if this is your first time of listening to our video. Thank you. Hope to see you next time. God bless. Hello, welcome to another enlightening, wonderful video on this channel. Thank you for being part of this awesome video. Now, today we'll be looking at the needs of a child. The needs of a child. What are the things that